Hello, YouTube! Welcome to D&D Daily. I am your host, Sage, and today I wanted to talk about marshals versus casters. So in the D&D community, classes are often categorized as either marshal or spellcaster or caster. And I recently ran across a Reddit post that was talking about how marshals don't actually exist, it's just caster and not caster. The reasoning they had for coming to this conclusion is that spellcasting has a definitive feature that you need to be able to cast spells and get spell levels, whether they be, packed slots or otherwise, to be a spellcaster. Now, marshals, you might argue, extra attack. But then what's a rogue, right?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Rogues are definitely marshals, but they don't get extra attack. And furthermore, there's a lot of spellcasters that do get extra attack. You have the two bard subclasses, you have a wizard subclass, you have kind of a pseudo cleric in there. So picking up, are they marshals? But they're still full casters. And I think one of the points that really stood out to me that this post was making is that it's really easy for a caster to dip into being a marshal, and it's really difficult for a marshal to dip into being a caster. And I actually think that's true. I recently did a paladin bard build that felt like a high-level paladin with only taking 2 levels in paladin, because bard is so good at covering everything paladin. You look at like the Bladesinger. The Bladesinger picks up the extra attack, has a lot of martial stuff going for it, but can also be a caster and can be a high level caster, 9th level spells. So basically you can be a marshal until it's pointless to be a marshal because casters get so strong. Now kind of an argument to this is, let's say that we're a spellcaster that doesn't have an extra attack feature. Then we need to get to level 5 to get extra attack, which is a big investment. Now we're not getting 9th level spells, and that seems a little bit more reasonable. But with a feat, with Polearm Master, you can kind of do a pseudo extra attack without even having to dip into marshals at all. And the same could be said for spells, but I think the highest spell you're getting from feats is level 2. I don't think you ever break level 2 as far as feats go. And if extra attack is the be-all, end-all, doing most of it with one feat is pretty, do you see what I mean? Like, you can't get to an 8th level spell with feats, but you can get a close to martial prowess with a feat. And I think that the game is definitely skewed towards casters. That's the end-all point, is that casters are very, very strong in this game and marshals struggle in comparison. Now, I think the idea is that we want marshals to be able to do higher sustained damage over a long time, so if you have a long day, the fighter's going to be reliable, whereas the wizards cast everything and now they suck when they have big bursts of strength but not continuous strength. Also, I think that marshals are supposed to come out the gate stronger, so levels 1 through 5, maybe even 5 through 10, marshals should be stronger, and then afterwards casters get better at their magic and become the linchpins. But I think in practice it doesn't really work that way. I think maybe levels 1 through 3, that is the case, where marshals are kind of holding their own against the casters, but I'm not even convinced of that. I think casters are nearly as good through all levels, if not better. I'm pretty sure clerics are among the best at levels 5 through 9, so that leaves like a very short time frame, tier 1, where marshals are competitive. Now, how do I suggest fixing this? Well, give marshals more. I think an easy way to do this would be feats that are restricted to somebody who knows 0 spells. It doesn't matter if you get them from feats, it doesn't matter where you get the spells. If you have a spell, you can't gain the benefits of this feat. And then have the feats be pretty freaking strong. Have them be really strong martial level feats. Something else concerning balance between marshals and casters is that every time a new book is released, they release new spells, but they don't release new fighter features. So that gap is only getting wider. Casters are only getting better. Look at Fizzbands. The only thing that improved the marshal's capacity is races, but that also improves the caster's capacity just as much. But then we add a bunch of spells, and these casters are just breaking away. I mean, Strixhaven, look at those backgrounds. Casters. Those are the best backgrounds, and they're meant for casters as well. So I guess what I'm saying is that the divide between marshals and casters is big and only growing bigger, and I think it might be worth considering some homebrew, which maybe I'll do a homebrew episode on some martial feats that I think could bring us to the forefront again, to being viable, at least until level 9. I would like the marshals to be very influential and strong through those levels. Or you could say that there's gaps that casters don't fit. You could say like, well, they need a tank. Casters can do that just as good, if not better, than a lot of marshals, which, you know, their spells just go so far to doing everything. Anyways, that's my hot take for the day. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. We are D&D Daily, release new D&D content every single day, so if that's interesting to you, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace!